What's up, guys? My name is Harvey, and I'm here to teach you uh, how to do comics. Of course, it's a first page for your comics. You know, like you already have your own script and stuff like that, and then now you're wondering like how are you going to start making your own comics? So I'm here. I'm going to teach you how to do that. First of all, um, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your comic page so professional, not so professional, but almost professional, and then to for the readers for so they can understand it. So we're gonna start with the blank page. So let's go and let's get to it. So first of all, like especially in the comics, we have to start from establishing shot. So what is establishing shot? So first I'm going to create a little bit of panels right here, and then just like that. All right. So we have one panels. So establishing shot. So what it does is this is where you're gonna put the venue, the place where the events is going to happen. So basically, we're going to draw like a building or something. This is going to be a sketch, so it's gonna be really really fast. So for example, like I'm sketching here, and the whole idea in creating comics is to let your audience know that uh, like so your audience is gonna understand what you're basically trying to like tell in the story. And if you don't have the proper knowledge to like put it in on the paper, then pretty much it's not gonna happen. So what I'm trying to do right now is just basic, so your understanding in in this particular uh, page will be like enough. So like you will be like, yeah, so just forget about it. Yeah, I know you understand what I'm trying to say, but so what I'm trying to do here, I'm creating a building, and let's see that this is some flowers and stuff like that, and yeah, so this is the flowers and stuff. I know you're struggling because some people they don't know where to start and they don't know what they're gonna do. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make uh, a panel with the building, so it's really obvious. So the purpose of this one is because the event is going to happen in this particular building. So what I'm trying to say right here in this page is this is the panel, and this building is really important because the event is going to happen here. So I'm going to put some crack and stuff like that just to say like, hey, like this building is really really old, and yeah, so like that. So we're gonna create another panels, which is for example here. Yeah, so we're gonna move closer to the window. So window, we're gonna create the window here. Window, just like that. Yeah, and then we're gonna put some shadows, like somebody is in there, like inside of that window. So yeah, so the audience, the readers will think like, oh, in that window there's somebody else inside of that window, and now they're thinking like, oh, they're gonna be more curious because they don't know. And then in this place you can actually uh, create like make a circle here, and then or here, anywhere. For example, just here, I just created a circle here, and then you know put some stroke, and then there you go. It's just an example. And then we're gonna go brush and X, and go 50% and stuff. And then let's say somebody is saying something or talking. So let's go with like, hey, uh, uh, I know who. Oh shit. Like for example, I know who he is. It's like that. So right here, we're basically trying to like uh, say like there's two persons and then they're talking to each other and then we know that's in a window, right? So we don't know who's these people are, but we know that these people are talking and they're saying something shit, you know. And then yeah. So next we're gonna create another panels under below right here. Let's say right here like that. And then go stroke. Again, we're gonna create more. Yep. Then from here, we're gonna do something like we're gonna enter to that room. So the first thing, like we know that we have the establishing shot right here, and then we know that in this establishing shot, you can put the shadows here, like two persons. So the when they see the page, it's already right there. Like the people is like talking to each other, and then you're gonna zoom it, so the attentions is going to that particular people. And now right here closing, we can right in this particular panel from here transferring in this part from here we can show them, but in a manner like with the drama, like how to do the drama. For example, we're gonna this is the perspective thing. So for example right here I'm going to create a perspective or like that, so it's gonna be more dramatic, or let's say like this. And then I'm gonna put a person here. So I'm talking to those people, like especially when you're going to create comics, make sure that you know how the perspective works, because that's very important. So like like that. So for example, like there's somebody else here, like right there, and then somebody is here. All right. So some of the bad habit that some comic artists do is like they always put like individual characters in every panels, which is for beginners it's really bad. If you have to train yourself to at least create like more people in one page, because you have to at least, because some you have to at least practice, like putting lots of characters in one particular panel to see that you can at least like do and be good in creating like scenery. Because if you think about it, like if you're creating a page or a panel and then there's always like individual pictures, like okay, headshot, body shot and stuff like that, it's not gonna work. Because if you always do that, then s- it's hard for your readers to tell what's going on, and it's gonna be like dead. Like it has to be like um with people inside, and it has to be like with uh like lots, or not really like full, but enough for them to understand uh what's going on under in this particular scene. So from here, let's say this is what's happening, and then the perspective, for example, like it's vanishing. The more it goes far, it's vanishing. So from here, this is the window, right? Remember about it. This is the window, and then we're gonna create this, and then like that. So pretty much we can understand, like we're gonna put like from here, really far away. Yeah, like that. Like, there you go. Alright, so there you go. So, yeah, and then little bit of lightings right here in this particular place. Then a little door. Yeah, so see, as you can see, there's like two people in one panel, and then what I'm trying to say here is like from here, from one panel, which is the establishing shot, y- we 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 know that there's two people like talking to each other, and then we zoom it, and then we found out like, and then we're gonna be curious. Of course, the readers is going to be curious, like who is that? Who is that? Who's that two people? And now we enter to the inside of the building and see like there's like two guys like talking to each other, and then now, so this is done. Of course, let's highlight the thing and make sure that it's separated, and then you know that this is another person, right? So yeah, and that's a door. Of course, and from here we're gonna, like for example, this guy is the first one who's talking, and then who's this, and then blah blah. For example, this guy is blah 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 blah. So in the first page, in the first panel, and then he's continue to speak, and then this guy, there's always a listener, and then there's always like there's always a receiver, and then there's always like uh, the giver. So this guy is the giver. He's saying something like information, and this one is the listener. So of course he's the one who's receiving things. So from here we're gonna show at least one character only, like the protagonist in one page, especially in first page. You always, you the first person that you're going to show is your main protagonist, which is your main character. So from here, for example, I'm going to draw one face, which is going to be our main character. I know my explanation is really, really off, but I hope you understand the idea. So the giver who's sending information, and probably he's trying to protect this someone else from the thing, or he's trying to recruit it from his crew or something. So she's saying something to that person, and then don't forget to like always put the emotions, because some people, they just put like random faces without any expression. That's the bad thing. Always, because in a comics, it has to be like when you see a drawing, it should be like it's moving. So that they call it. It's a rule. Like you have to like at least do like an action pose, action figure. So if you're not gonna do an action figure, then it's not gonna happen. Like all your like comic page will end up being a pinups, like, and you don't want that to happen. So at least you have to create something like um, at least like you have to create something that will convince the audience, like, oh, this particular thing is moving, like this particular uh, drawing is moving. So that's what I'm trying to say. So from here, let's say this person is this guy. So this guy is this guy. So we just zoom to this panel. So like like, hey, I'm saying something like blah 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 and shit. So let's say we have a bubbles here. Yeah, so let's say from here. Yep. So from here, like he's saying something. All right. So I know my drawing is crappy, but just bear with it for now. Just think about this as let's zoom it. So there you go. So he's basically like talking to that other guy on the other side, and he's kind of like with a fierce face, like, hey, like you don't do that again, like it's not healthy. So so from here, like let's say he's saying, I know who he is, and blah 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 blah. I know, I know it was you. Like say, I know from the start, and then we're gonna go like a cliffhanger. They call it cliffhanger. Like when you read the book, and then like, oh shit, I missed something. Like, what's gonna happen to the next part, and then they call it cliffhanger. So start. It was you. Let's say it was you. Yeah. So you can tell right away like what's going on. Like this is basically the first page, like what's gonna happen. You can rely on this particular uh like uh training or practice, like particular page. You can use this, but this is how you basically start, like to draw like a whole page. Like, okay, this is the page. Okay, it starts from here in a establishing shot, like where the protagonist or the character will coming from, and then you can put bubbles on it, like, okay, they're speaking here, and then they're saying something here, and then after that you can zoom it and then show the characters like where they are, like, okay, they're at the back of the window, or probably they're here on the rooftop or something, and then it's up to you how you're going to deal with that, but as long as there's an establishing shot where the event's going to happen, and then as soon as when you're done with that, you're going to at least show the two characters like in a diverse view, because we have different kind of views. Like for example, I'm gonna show you something. So, for example, like this is another panels, right? You know, first page is really, really important, because the reason is, if your first page is really, really good, and then all of it, you're the momentum. The momentum is gonna keep going, and it's gonna be more better and better every single time. So what I'm trying to say, that's a wide view, like it's like a straight eye view, and then we have the worm's eye view, which is like this. This is the worm's eye view. This is a powerful view, but like you can use it to people who's like trying to stand like with a point, like late saying something like that, and then with arms like that, like especially for people who's going to charge in, like being mad or something. Yeah, you can use this view. Yeah, this is one of my favorite view. Yeah, this is the worm's eye view. Yep, and I know you can see it even in a silhouette, like just like that. Yeah, I know you get it. As the worm's eye view, and we have the every view that I'm explaining right here is basically will depends on, like if you're going to create something like that, it's supposed to be on this kind of panel. You're not gonna create, or this particular thing has to be on this particular panel, because we're showing his big knuckles, like if you can say, like for example, I'm gonna show you like this one, this panel right here, and let's say another view that I really really like. This is what you call, um, they call it bird's eye view, which is really really popular and really really important. Bird's eye view is used for people who's like they're talking like man to man, and or they're gonna start to fight already. Like, okay, you have to use this view because somebody is making a standpoint like, hey, like I want to do this and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. And then they have some people around him like, oh, like, oh, she's with a big guy, because you're trying to execute like, oh, this guy is amazing and he has like, like a crew, and then they're trying to like con- conquer or raid a place or something, like that. That's a bird's eye view. You can put it as a like for somebody who's making a standpoint, and or just to show the place where they want to do things, like, yeah, just trying to make it like, I know you understand, but the whole concept right here that I'm trying to explain is you have to at least have this. Don't forget this thing. This is very important. They call it um, establishing shot. This is very important. Establishing shot. All right. You can chop this to two pieces. Like, you can do this. Okay, your establishing shot has two pieces. Yeah. Just you know. So, because like what I'm trying to say just right now, I'm trying to explain like in comic industry they have to at least your artwork have at least need to have 5 to 6 panels every pages. So like my bad if you just see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 is good, but some pages, if you like trying to like like to explain things, or trying to like focus on one thing, you can just use at least like 3 to 4 pages. It's fine, but standards you have to have at least, I know you still need to have at least 5 to 6 pages. If you can do seven, and it's more fine. But as for now, just remain on 4 to 5 to 6 pages. Because it's really really hard. But right here, yeah, just focus on this thing. They call it establishing shot. This is establishing shot. The events where the place where the events is going to happen. Put the characters right there, or what they're doing, so you can zoom it right there, and then that's it. So from here, let's say this guy is already speaking. This guy, since this guy is only listening, you don't have to show his face because he's not really important, but this guy should be really really important. Yeah, and then after that, that's it pretty much, and then move on right here, and then you're ready for the next page. So first page is done. So thank you for listening, and have a great day. Bye.